Welcome to Face to Face with Gerald and Regina, where we give different perspectives on real life issues with transparency. Please, you can get in contact with us on Facebook. If you go to Face, just type it in. Also, you can visit us on our on our YouTube channel. I see you over rocking over there, Gerald. Our YouTube channel, Face to Face with Gerald Regina. And then also, if you would like to email us, if you have any issues or if you want to do any business promos, please go on our Facebook and just DM us, and we will return promptly. So I'm excited today. We are going to visit one of the subjects that we did, I think, when we first started. And it was called I'm Saved, but I'm Divorced, yes. Part 2. And then, for those that don't know, because there are a lot of people don't know, when you say, what do you mean when I'm saved? I always say a believer, someone that believes in God. So normally, and I hate to say that in the holiness churches or Pentecostal, they always use saved. So I just want to do a little recap on some issues. I would say, because I was trying to find some background, some paperwork from the last time, and I couldn't find it.
So we finna fly by the seat of our pants.
So we about to fly by the seat of our pants. But I do have some bullet points. So now I think we were transparent about this. We both are divorced.
Yes.
We both are believers. Nothing wrong with that. I know from the church that I came out of, that was a no-no.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Holiness Pentecostal. And I'm not saying that all holiness and Pentecostal churches do that. I'm just saying, and the subject that we're talking about today, these are most of the podcasts that we have. These are things that we have dealt with personally. And we're just being transparent. So if you get offended, that is not what we're trying to do, is offend you. But we do want to enlighten people because some people that are listening to us just don't know. And this is what we have experienced personally. So we are both divorced.
Yes.
And in the beginning, I know I was divorced young. I got married young. I was divorced young. So there was I know for me, there was some shame to it, simply because I was in the holiness church. And I think I had mentioned back in the first part 1 that a lot of the members, for some reason, and I'm like, dang, I'm young. They didn't take it very well. And there was really no support. And then with that, with no support, and it was family. It was a family church. That made it even worse.
Well, yeah, of course.
So it was a family church. Let me put it that way. So me being with family, thinking that I would be supported, and I believe I was 24. I got married at 21. I was divorced at 24, and I had 2 small kids.
Wow.
Okay. So no support, and I have here the reasons biblically that you can, where divorce is merited. And these are just 3 of them, but we're going to talk about the 3 and then the in-betweens, Okay. So the first one is adultery, sexual immorality, cheating. That's okay. So the second one is abuse, physical and emotional abuse. I've been there.
Yes.
Okay. The third one is abandonment by an unbeliever. That one, I'm looking at the end. It says unbeliever. I'm kind of, because there's some believers that will abandon you. I hate to say it like that. There are people that are Christian, they're believers that will abandon you. So, and then there's the in between where you're going to counseling and whatever you're doing is just not working. So it's like, what do you do?
Exactly. What? And you're right.
So I'm like,
what do you
I know
do?
I'll put it in your
No, it's all good. But you're right. But you're right. But like you said, what do you do? Because it was during the time, like, when I was going through my divorce, and when I got the divorce, people that knew me personally, because I tried to keep it as quiet as long as I possibly could,
Yeah.
because of me being who I am and the type of walk that I walk. With let me just open it up a little bit more with me being a preacher. And then you go through a divorce, and then people they talk about you behind your back, and
Yeah.
your name is
Not good.
destroyed, and stuff like that. You have ministry engagements, and people, they listen to what other people are saying. Now they don't want to have anything to do with you. And my frame of mind, even on that, well, now you don't want to have nothing to do with me. You wasn't my friend in the first place.
Yeah.
You wasn't for me in the first place. So I thank God for shielding me and watching over me with that. But at the same time, people have to understand that just because I'm a preacher and you a preacher as well, or preachers, period, as a whole, leaders, if you want to say, life happens to us.
Yeah.
Life happens to us. I believe I was talking about that in the last show. Life happens to us, and the thing about it is, sometimes people, they begin to hold us up too high, because when life happens to us, they begin like the ooh and the ah and the finger pointing and the certain conversations
Yeah.
that shouldn't be happening, and gossiping, so to speak. And and a lot of times, people, they do that, and they don't even have all the facts. Or sometimes they do that, they don't even know you. No disrespect to nobody. And I'm definitely not, the type of that'll throw anybody up under the bus. I don't do that. I don't expose. I don't do that. I let God handle all of that. That's, God, he do what he do, and I do what I do, and I mind my business. It was a lot of times, I would have ministry engagements, and these ministry engagements, they were coming, and as soon as they find out that I was going through a divorce, they didn't want to have nothing to do with me.
That's interesting.
I'm serious. They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't want me there. They didn't want to invite me. They felt like I wasn't fit to mount up anybody's pulpit. They felt like that I wasn't fit to even speak in God's word, and even saying, God's word. I don't want, our listeners or our viewers to make it feel like that, this is a holier than thou type of show, because it's not.
It's not.
It's not. It's one of these type of shows that we're gonna keep it real, and we're gonna tell the truth. So I really want you to get that part and understand. But at the same time, as I said, just because we're preachers, that doesn't mean that we're exempt from life happening to us. We have feelings, we have emotions, we have flesh, just like everybody else. We have struggles, we have issues, just like everybody else. You could not possibly think that just because I am who I am, I'm supposed to sit there and suffer and be unhappy. Like you said, you can go to counseling. I did. You can go to classes. I did. You can seek mentorship. I did. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
It just didn't work. And so therefore, that's when I believe that you have to pull out of it. Pull yourself out of it. That way you don't have yourself in bondage.
Yeah.
Have yourself locked up in something that'll have you doing something that you probably shouldn't have no business doing. So that's when, men and women, you got to be smart enough to know, all right, it's time for me to get out of this. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then for those that are listening to us, it's not hey, we heard it on the podcast. Even with the three that I just named, I mean, even in between, like adultery, abuse, and abandonment, there is hope. I'm just saying that is just a way biblically to get out of it. And I hate to say it like that, but you can, if you want to work out things in your marriage, there has to be, both parties have
That's
to
right.
be willing and
Both
able.
parties have to be willing.
So even with that, I've seen people where they've been cheated on or there's been abuse and God just turned it around. So you can always go to God. It's just saying, biblically, this is the reason why you should. But if you're willing, if both of the parties are willing, I don't see anything, even in the midst of all of this, you just going for counseling and then just kind of take it from there.
But you're right, though.
Yeah.
But you're definitely right. And you have to, in both, like you said, both parties have to be willing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have to be willing to
Yeah.
make it move and make it go forward. Again, our topic is I'm saved, but I'm divorced. Does that mean that because I'm divorced, does that mean that I'm not saved anymore? Does that mean that I don't trust God? Does that mean that I don't believe God no more? That does not. That does not. Again, life happens. Life happens, and when life happens, you need to be able to alter your life and be able to maneuver and be able to move around in whatever situation it is. Be able to do that, and if you can't, you're gonna find yourself in some hard situations.
Yeah.
Because it's life.
Yeah.
You're gonna find yourself in some hard situations where it's dark. You don't have anybody to turn to. The people that you thought you could turn to, they said they were your friends. They're not. They're not. People had a great deal of respect for you. You may find situations and times where they don't have that respect for you anymore. And guess what? That's fine, because I'm speaking from experience, because all those things happened to me. And guess what? That's fine. It is, and the thing about it is, all the lies that was told on me, all of the lies that was said about me, all the people that talked about me behind my back. Often it's this one preacher, I won't call his name. This one preacher, he called me, and he told me, he said, man, he applauded me for doing the things that I've done, and being the man that I have become. And he told me, he said, because every lie that was told on you and everything that was said about you, because if it was true, I wouldn't be where I am right now. I wouldn't be where I am right now in business and other business endeavors that I do have that I just hadn't said anything about, or that I'm getting ready to embark upon, stuff like that. Even with ministry, stuff like that, I wouldn't continue to be elevated, continue to just grow. Everything that I had, it would just fall, like it would fall to the ground if everything was true, what they said. And I saying, it's a lot of times people, they have to pray and ask God to deliver them from people, to get delivered from people, and don't worry about what people are saying, because people are going to talk. You can't stop nobody from talking. I had to learn that. You can't stop nobody from talking. People are going to talk. People are going to say what they want to say.
Yeah.
You have to get that in your mind. So what type of mentality? Let them say what they want to say. But your happiness and your peace of mind, that means more than anything. And that's what it had to be for me. My happiness and my peace of mind had to be everything to me. Without a peace of mind and my happiness, I could not move forward. Without a peace of mind and happiness, I could not be who I am today. So that's why my peace of mind, that's why I guard my mind. I protect my spirit. I protect my mind with a lot of things, and I don't let a lot of people just come around me with all type of stuff, all types of trash, or just all types of vibes, so to speak, as people say. I don't let people come around me with stuff like that. And some people say, well, Jerry, you think you're too good? No, it's not that. I'm just not finna put up with your mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? When people are on the outside looking in, they really don't know,
They don't
what you're going through and why you're getting a divorce. And I know, I'm just going to be transparent, like we always do.
Yeah.
My first marriage, I was abandoned.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's called abandonment. One thing I had to do with that one is just really pray, because I actually wanted him to come back. But like I said, it has to be two willing parties.
Yeah.
He didn't want to. We couldn't even find him.
Wow.
So yeah, we couldn't
He didn't
even
want
find
to
him.
anyway.
Yeah.
Whether you wanted it or not.
Yeah. So in cases like that, normally when it's abandonment, they do like they put it out in the public paper for 30 days, and if they don't respond, you just go through with it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the second time was physical, and I don't like really talking about that, because with my ex, one thing I do is pray for them. And my thing is, this happened years ago, so I don't know. We don't know their mind frame now.
Yeah.
So
Put my glasses like yours.
I know, like mine. So physical, emotional,
Yeah.
and I gave him 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
He still didn't get himself together in 2 years, and it's like, okay, we have to part ways. And then I wish him the best now. Will God change people? Yes, He can change people.
Of course, He can change
But
anything.
I just don't like the fact that sometimes people don't know what's going on, and they're outside looking in, and they know what's best for you.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, it even with for me, it was, it's still kind of rough on me some days. Some days are still a bit rough. Some days I still think about it. Some it's certain conversations that I stay away from because I know I have enough wisdom to stay away from certain conversations because I know to trigger certain things. So some stuff when it comes to things like that, I'll deal with it to a certain extent. But I won't deal with it to a point to where I want to where I won't let it affect me now, because I mean even now, my 22-year-old daughter, we've just now gotten our relationship back because of things was told to her. So I mean, I had to fight for that as well. That's something that many people just simply just don't know, that I had to fight to get a relationship back with my oldest daughter. Now I said, now my youngest daughter, I'm still working on her. I'm still working on her, and it's to a point where all I can do is just pray and just let God do whatever it is that He gonna do. And it's rough. I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that it's hard, and because it is. It's hard not having a relationship with your daughter, because deep down inside you know that you're doing everything that you can possibly do. You know that you be transparent with her. You answer questions with her. Even more so with the tangible. I give her money, whatever the amount is. I give it to her. I don't. I never tell my kids no. Never. I never tell my kids no. Anytime my kids come to me and ask me for something, I never tell my kids no. Even my grown daughter, she even worked for me. She still asks me for stuff. I still don't tell her no. I still don't. Because because we, you're a parent. Them my babies. Them my girls. I definitely want to see them with whatever it is that they want. But at the same time, that was a hit below the belt. That was a very low blow, that somebody would actually take the initiative to go behind my back and get in their ear and talk to them and say things to them to make me look bad.
Yeah.
And it did happen. And it did work. What they did, the person who said what they said, it did work. But at the same time, as I said, that's the only thing that I know to do is continue to pray, continue to talk to God, and continue to try to build a relationship with them. And I say, the rest of it, I promise you, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I said, but I mean, me and my oldest daughter, we're in a pretty good place right now.
That's good.
We're in a pretty good place right now. And right now, I'm being very transparent, guys. Our viewers, I'm being very, very, very transparent, because this type of stuff I really don't really talk about. I talk about it a little bit, but I don't really talk about it as much, because I know that it'll bring up some stuff that I really don't like to talk about. I don't really like to deal with. But certain things you have to be willing to talk about, and I'm definitely open to talk about it. But things are getting better.
Yeah,
it's getting
which
better.
is good.
It's getting better. It's just taking some time, and that's the part I don't like. It's taking some time. So,
but in God's timing,
of course.
I know back, I think it was in the 1990s when this occurred with a divorce. And I know back then it wasn't just my uncle's church. It was some other churches where there were divorces occurring.
Yeah.
And people were having a very hard time, no support. So my thing today is I think now, 2022, I noticed that churches now, they try to mediate.
Yeah.
And they try to help and and they provide the support now. I do see churches, even if you are divorced, there's a support group. There's some mentorship, even for the kids. I can say for me, my kids were my biggest cheerleader, because I'm a Mama Dukes. They call me Mama Dukes. I'm gonna always be mom. Nothing changed, even though people perceived me a different way, and they didn't know all the information and was trying to figure out why. And people gossip, and it's like, how is it that you're gonna come at me and you're gossiping? Sin is sin.
Sin is sin.
You know what I'm saying? So I just know that now there are more support from churches and groups and, stuff like that. People still frown upon it, especially if you're a minister.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And I mean, like you said, sin is sin. Am I saying sin is it was right because we made the decision that we
Yeah.
made? No, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is sin. Okay, I repented. Now let me move forward.
yeah.
Let me off the hook so I can move forward, regardless of what you think about me. And I'm dead serious. People, if I could call names, I could
Let's not call names.
and I'm not gonna call names because it's not nice to do that.
But they know who they are.
But I said, but they know who they are. And I'm serious. It was this one church in particular. I went to this one church, and I kid you not. Still not gonna call nobody name. No, I'm not even gonna call the name of the church. I went to this one church. Now, people, there was close, there was friends. When I was in the church, we would hang out and we would talk about ministry and stuff like that. Guess what? When the divorce came, they stopped talking to me.
They act like there's a plague.
I said they stopped talking to me. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I found out they got a hold to it and they started telling other people in the church. I said, oh, okay. That's why y'all stopped talking to me.
Yeah.
And it's not fair for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not fair for me because, y'all you choose to listen to one person, but you didn't choose to listen to the both parties.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, I can't even worry about that. I cannot worry about that. God has me in a different place. God has me in a different season, and that I cannot worry about it. I have to move on with my life. I have to move on with my life. Pretty much. Like I said, I just have to move on with my life, and I can't worry about that. People are going to be people.
Mm-hmm.
People need deliverance. I need deliverance. Everybody need deliverance. But at the same time, man, you can't think that life don't supposed to happen to me, because it does, and think that I'm not even saved anymore. I don't believe God anymore because I'm divorced now. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel about it.
So what we're going to do is we are going to open our phone lines.
Okay.
See if anybody have anything to say.
I don't know. They might be scared. They might be scared to call.
But you know what? I do notice that when we talk about issues like this that are taboo.
Yeah, that's real. That's
coming from religious and from the church. We really don't. Now I notice, because I'm gonna put it out there. I notice on Facebook, we can see the analytics. We can see how many people viewed it. How many times you clicked on it.
We can pretty much see who viewed it, who clicked on it.
To me, it's like as long as we put the information out there, there's always going to be someone or just people that I'm like, hey, okay,
Exactly.
I've gone through that. Okay, I'm not the only one. Okay,
not the
there
only
is
one.
life after divorce.
Exactly.
So the phone 9-469-708-8609. Please call in if you want to make a comment, if you want to, just anything.
And by all means necessary. No disrespect to anybody. None of our shows are disrespectful. All of our shows are meant to help somebody. All of our shows are meant to, like, okay, hey, if we made it through it, you can too. Hey, just because you're going through this that doesn't mean you have to take this.
Yeah.
Our shows are never meant to bash or never meant to, make anybody feel bad or anything like that. But some of them are, pretty much. I was about to say something else. pretty much raw and uncut. Pretty much raw and uncut as best we can possibly be without being disrespectful towards ourselves or towards anybody. But at the same time, I believe, Regina, we try to tell the truth as best we possibly can and talk about the subjects and the topics that most people, they want to hear, that they want to talk about. And again, like you said, like she said, if you got a subject or a topic, that you might want to hear more about, let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know. But the phone lines are open if y'all want to call in and say something or add something to it or either whatever, but the phone lines are open. And I think the phone number is right there on the screen. It is. Yeah, maybe if I do my glasses like Regina, I probably can see it.
See, I don't have my glasses on now. See, I can see.
Well, see, I took my glasses off and I can't see, so that don't work for me. That don't work for me. I'm gonna have to do my glasses like this, like Regina do hers. Oh my God!
I got to protect my lashes. Okay, I have strips on, all right. So.
But being, I said, sometimes people, they think that, well, some people will say, well, how can I say this? Some people will say, well, why did you get divorced? Did you hear from God? I even heard that. Did you hear from God? I'm like, well,
Are you serious?
oh yeah. Oh yeah, I even got that. Oh yeah. And the thing about it is, I'm like, man, you expect for me to sit there and be unhappy. I don't see the logic in that. I just don't. I just don't see the logic in that. Why would you sit there and be unhappy with life? I am so serious. I am so serious. Why would you be sitting there and be unhappy with life? Why would you sit there and be unhappy with yourself, mentally and physically? And again, like I said, if I had not did what I did, and if I was what they said, I promise you, everything that I got going on right now, I just wouldn't have it.
Have it.
I just wouldn't have it because my life is very busy. It's very, very, very busy. I hardly have time for anything really, but the things that I have going on in my personal life, and that's it: business, podcast, show, and ministry, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all I have time for. Do I want to make time for anything else? Of course I do, because I want balance. Right now, it's just a little hard for that right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, we're talking about, I'm saved, but I'm divorced. It's my relationship with God has gotten even stronger. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. My relationship with God has gotten even stronger. Just my hearing has gotten sharper. Just being able to feel God's presence has gotten stronger. So it's people, they say whatever they want to say.
Yeah. You know what? I always tell people, I said, even the second time, I was like, do I still think marriage is a good thing? I do.
Of course.
Maybe not for me, not right now, because I have so many things going on. But marriage is honorable.
Exactly.
And sometimes we have to do what we have to do. And then there were times that I prayed, even when younger. I think when I got married again, I was in my 40s, and then having Ricky, and even then, I just didn't, when things started happening, I just didn't cut the line. I was still being prayerful minded. I literally, when it started getting physical, I literally just got another apartment. I was still asking God, is this what I should be doing?
Yeah.
And then I waited. So, for him to
Of
get
course.
himself together. And then after a time frame, God was like, okay, it's time. And I'm like, Lord, And then sometimes you look at yourself, I'm like, am I marriage material? And that's what comes into your mind, especially, for females, because we have this fairy tale about getting married.
I want to
and
be
everything's
Cinderella.
in creams, So, and then you start looking at yourself, and that to me, that's a good thing. I had to do a lot of self-reflection. I had to look at myself in the mirror and like, okay, looking at the individual and what are the red flags, and stuff like that. So I don't want anyone thinking that just because they're divorced that they're not a believer and God doesn't love them. He does.
Exactly.
But then God also wants you, like you said, to be happy. So I want to throw out some scriptures, because I know some people are like, oh, that's not biblical. And I'm going to throw them out there, and when you have time, you can read it.
That's right.
So I have Genesis second chapter, 24th verse. Malachi, 2nd chapter, 13 through 16 verse.
Yes.
Mark 10, 1 Corinthians 7:15, and then 2 Timothy 3, 3rd chapter, 1 through 5. And then I put notations here, I don't know why. Those that do not care for their family are worse than believers. That's why I was talking about the in-between, where there's people that are married and everything is one-sided, where you may have one spouse that's doing everything.
Yeah.
And with some, because I've seen where the man, he's just not doing anything. The wife is doing everything. And it's like, what do you do?
In some shape, form, or fashion, you should feel, a man should feel bad.
Yeah.
For letting a woman do everything.
In 2020, that's
another show. That's another show.
Really don't.
Yeah,
They
they
want
don't want
someone
to do nothing.
a female to take care of them.
Man,
So,
please.
that's why I was saying there's a lot of in between besides the three that I named. There are other instances where, you know, unfortunately divorce happens, you
Yeah.
know. So our phone lines are still open, 469-708-8609. Please call in. I see
I'm
we have
saved,
6
but
people.
I'm divorced. And I mean, it's, you know, it's just so much when you start talking about divorce. You know, I mean, you can look at it like this: do I want to sit there and be in bondage, not be happy, can't even pray and talk to God? You know, like I just really want to, because of my mind is just so confused and bogged up with all this other stuff? Or would you rather be free and be able to move in God and be able to be free in your heart and your mind? Because there is a place where you can get like that. Be it free in your heart and your mind. Now, everybody may not even want that. You know, everybody they may be okay with, you know, coming home from work and, you know, not even having a hot meal, you know, coming home from work and somebody looking at you upside your head and wishing you would have stayed where you was. You know, some people are okay with
I
that.
need
I'm like,
peace.
man, I can't take that no more.
I need
You're
some
not gonna
peace.
do me like that. No, I want some
No.
peace.
Yeah.
I want. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
you should want peace, and I mean, and there's a place where you can get in God like that, where you can find a peace of mind. You know, and it's, you know, it's just, I mean, and the thing about it is, you just simply just gotta want it. You gotta want that. You gotta want that, and you know, and again, some people just, they don't want that because the church has made them feel like if you do this, God is gonna look at you like this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just can't go with that.
Yeah.
I just can't. I mean, and guess what? Everybody has their own convictions. Everybody has their own relationship. Everybody has their own thing, how they believe God, how they want to believe God. But I'm sorry,
I call it a different
my
doctrine.
piece is, I
Yeah.
love it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, how you guys doing today?
All right.
Great. And you?
Good, good. I had a question. So, what would you guys say to someone who's married and want to get a divorce, and what they are now seeing is that them and their partner are unequally yoked. She's saved, he's not saved, and she's trying to now she understands that that's really not the person that she's supposed to be with.
Good
Huh.
one.
You want me to go?
Go for
Okay,
it.
so in a case like that, one thing I really don't do
Yes, Lord.
is because I have friends that are married, and when it comes to
Oh,
when it comes to their relationship, when you know sometimes they vent, I would never tell someone that's already married, hey, go get a divorce. What I would say is that if they can go to Christian counseling, um, and um, and I know some instances where there was only one spouse that was a believer. They were saved, and the other one was just, you know, and not. Um, that one is a tough one. Have both of them tried to go for counseling?
Yeah.
so let me say this to you. I've been in that place. Um, I've been in that place where, you know, like you said, one is saved and one is going after God with everything that they got, and the other one is just in neutral. Okay, I've been there, and that's kind of how it was for me. Um, and one thing I'll never do is, and I'm going to answer your question. One thing I'll never do is put my ex-wife on blast. You know, I don't call names. I don't do that. But what I would tell you is, what I would tell you and what I'm not going to tell you is to leave your husband. I'm not going to tell you that, because one thing I don't want you to do is, because wisdom tell me to tell you to pray. That's what wisdom tell me to do. Tell you to pray. Seek counseling. Seek godly counseling. Okay, and let me say this, because we may need to talk offline. Um, we may need to talk offline. I would tell you to seek godly counseling and to pray, and get with your pastors, your pastor of your church, and if you do not, find one. Um, But I said, but don't just leave on your own will. Because I said, because now here's the thing. Now, if you're not happy, all right, you definitely want to get counseling. Because I said, because the Bible tells us not to be unequally yoked with unbelievers anyway. So therefore, you definitely don't want to be unequally yoked. Now, hear me by the Spirit. You don't want to be unequally yoked. Okay. But I said, because that's what the Bible tells us to do. Don't be unequally yoked with unbelievers. I said, but at the same time, you don't want to be led astray. You don't want to be led astray, because nowadays, real women, they want a man that's saved and that's that love God. A lot of the women that I know, that's what they want. So I would tell you to get some godly counsel and get some godly wisdom, and and bring him with you. Don't go by yourself. Don't just let this be a one-sided thing. And it might help if you get some counseling from somebody that both of y'all don't even know. You know what I'm saying? That way you'll know this ain't no one-sided story. That way they ain't taking his side and they ain't taking your side. You know what I'm saying? So I would tell you that's what wisdom would tell me to tell you. Get some godly counseling, but either from, like you said, your leaders of the church that you go to, or you can get some counseling from somebody that you simply just don't even know. And you have to be willing to, strip yourself and tell them your business. And if does that make any sense to you?
All right. Yes. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good day.
All right. You too.
Mm-hmm. All right. That one was a tough one. One's a tough one, because I have friends that are married. I think I have more married friends, and they always vent.
And see, something. It's a lot of times people they'll come and definitely not downplay what you're saying. I wouldn't downplay anybody. A lot of times people they come to me because they know I'm a prophet.
Yeah.
They'll come to me because they know I'm a prophet, and then they'll ask me about their relationships. Well, I said, wisdom. That's why I said that I don't flow in my gift when it comes to that. That's how, and I'm just, I'm saying that's how you deal with that. You use wisdom. You don't never tell nobody. And that's not saying, I'm not saying it's what you're doing or you did, because that ain't what you did. But that's what I tell people. I'll never tell you to leave your husband. I'll never tell you to leave your wife, because one thing about it is they ain't gonna blame God. They're gonna blame you. They ain't gonna blame God. They're gonna blame you. They're gonna say, well, Prophet Gerald said, I need to leave you. They're gonna say, Minister Regina, I need you to leave. Guess what? Then you're gonna be right there in the middle. The devil is a liar. We ain't doing that.
These people are blowing me up while we on the air.
Oh, sorry. They blowing you up, want you to ask questions.
Oh no, I'm talking about the car place.
Oh Lord. Hold on, we'll deal with that later.
We'll deal with that later. I'm like, y'all, come on now.
We'll deal with that. I just saw something with that too. Yeah, transition, great transition is getting ready to come with that. That's why they're hitting you up. Just know that somebody else finna hit you up on with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You turned the knob, and that gift came on. Another door is getting ready to open.
Yeah.
Another door is getting ready to open. Another phone call is getting ready to come. That's why they hitting you up. They practicing. That's what the Lord said. They practicing. So all right, let me stop. Because that ain't. This ain't the prophetic show. This ain't the prophetic show. Y'all can. I'll tell you what. I'll be talking on the prophetic. I think that's October the 6th. I'll be on another podcast show. But anyway, all right. But at the same time, when it comes to stuff like that, dealing with like relationships and stuff like that, those are hard questions. Those are hard questions. People will come to those type of questions for ministers and stuff like that. But one of the things that that I do and that I try to tell people to do, stay out of that. Stay out of it, but lead, guide, and direct. And just give wisdom and godly answers. You know what I mean? Just give wisdom and godly answers, because, like I said, they ain't gonna blame God. Oh no!
Well, they're gonna blame you.
They're gonna blame.
That's why
you.
That's why when they vent
exactly.
and they want my opinion, I always direct them to counseling.
That's
and
right.
then my thing is, if you done all the counseling, if you've met with mentors, if you've done everything that you can, it's still on you, because people were gonna do what they want to do anyway.
Do what they want to do anyway.
So
yeah. People are going to do what they want to do anyway.
So but I just won't be
exactly.
the one that, you know.
No.
You told me no.
No, you told me. No, I didn't. No, I told you to go get counseling.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't tell you to leave your husband. I didn't tell you to leave your wife. I didn't. No, I didn't. I said,
Yeah.
go get godly counsel and godly wisdom. And that's, I say, and typically I believe that's what, you know, people should do. Go get godly counseling, go get counseling. I ain't saying go talk to your homegirl.
Yeah.
I ain't saying go talk to your homeboy, because your homeboy might not know a lick or nothing.
Yeah.
Your homegirl might not know a lick or nothing. And they might not even been in relationship since way back then. And I said, here it is. You finna let them lead and guide and direct you in a relationship. Boy, please. Get
Man,
sit down.
now if you single
Yeah.
and y'all not married, oh man.
Yeah.
That's just open season for me. It's
Yeah.
like, really, you want to know my opinion? Okay, so
I'm finna go in on you.
I'm about to go in. You don't need him. Get rid of him or get rid of her.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
phone lines are still open, 469-708-8609. We really appreciate the first caller. That was
Most
a good
definitely.
one. Yeah.
It was very challenging, and it was very enlightening for the both of us.
Yes.
So, you know, if anybody want to call back in, you know, call in or call back in, or you have a question about anything, you know, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I promise you. Don't be afraid. Don't be embarrassed. You don't have to be embarrassed. Because I said, at the end of the day, you know, don't the dumb question is the one that you don't ask.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was taught. The dumb question is the crazy question is the one that you did not ask. You know.
So what we're gonna do while we're in the midst of waiting for another phone call is we're gonna do our business promos.
Cool.
Da-da-da-da. Woo! So this is the time where we give a shout out to businesses that are here in Dallas or Louisville or Grand Prairie or wherever you have your business. It doesn't have to be necessarily in Dallas.
It does not.
We can give you a shout out. We've put on Facebook that if you do have a topic or if you want your business for us to showcase your business, and this is
That's
free.
right. It's free.
We do it for free.
It's for free.
Just go on our Facebook and just DM us on face to face. Or did I do the glperson76@gmail.com?
Yes.
Okay. So it's glperson, person 76@gmail.com. gmail.com. Or you can just type in face to face. And just DM us and we can take it from there. Okay, so the first one that we have is End Time Saga from our prophetess Elise Shedd. Discover the spirit world and the spiritual warfare stories of ancient evil, demons, angels, and mankind, which sounds really good.
It sounds
Books
really scary.
are available on Amazon. Yeah, I'm looking.
It sounds
and
really scary.
I actually like because I thought you actually did the flyer.
No, I didn't do that.
Yeah,
flyer.
I like
No,
the
she
book
did,
cover.
No, she did that herself, I believe.
Okay, so you can also, I think on Facebook you can get in contact with her on Facebook if you do. Is it under Prophetess Elise Shedd?
It's just Elise Shedd.
Elise Shedd. You can DM her ELISE and Shedd SHEDD. So the next one we have is Trinity Publishing presents Ella Jones. And she is a 3-time author with Trinity Publishing. Unfortunately, and one of the reasons why I'm plugging this in is she has gained her wings. She has passed away.
Okay.
She had cancer.
God rest her soul.
So she had a book. It's called 31 Day Devotional. The next book is Released to be Released.
Okay.
Yeah, 31 Day Devotional, Released to be Released.
Okay.
And then she co-authored Iron Sharpened Iron, which is a good book by Minister Gina Cade.
Okay.
And this is through Trinity Publishing. So if you want to purchase these books, 31 Day Devotional, Released to be Released, or Iron Sharpened Iron, the latest version, you can DM at trinitypublishingco@gmail.com, and she'll return, your message promptly. The next one is Trinity presents A Father's Love, a pre-release book cover.
Okay.
The book is coming soon. and this is by yours truly.
That's why I'm about to say that's your book. That's your book.
We're still working out some things, but if you would like, and I think pretty soon we'll have what the price will be. But DM me. You can just go on Facebook under Regina Whitaker, WHITAKER, or you can call or text me 469-698-6773. I'm excited. I've always wanted to write a book, so I have added author to my title. So
Good. That's sweet.
last but not least, we have Burgerlicious, and we're gonna give it to the hands of Gerald.
And I'm over here clowning. He had to do that. Yeah, so when I'm not, being spiritually, I'm kind of goofy, y'all. Tell you the truth, I'm kind of goofy. I love to laugh. I love to talk.
He's goofy.
So this is our October burger of the month, y'all. It's a queso burger. So I mean this, and I said this burger you can actually go on Uber Eats or Grubhub and get it brought to you, because I do know, and I get it. Sometimes people, they don't live quite close to the restaurant. It's out in Louisville. Some people don't live closer, but they still want something. But you can get it delivered to you through Grubhub or the Uber Eats apps. And I mean it's a pretty good burger. I mean it's a burger that's handmade. That's not a frozen patty. Doesn't come out the box or anything like that. It's pretty good. Of course. Let me see. What else can I add? We do cater as well. And if you decide you do not want burgers and fries catered for your company, or you don't want burgers and fries catered for your wedding, guess what? You don't have to do that. We have a catering menu. You can go to our website. And our website is right there on that flyer. And you can go to our website and you'll see all of the menus that we have. And if you do not see a menu that you like, or not see a menu that you want, so to speak, just reach out to us and we can get that for you. And we also have a food truck as well. And if you're in the Dallas vicinity area, we'll bring that food truck to you, because you may want. That was like we did an event for DHL. That was a lot of people.
Okay.
That was a lot of people. I think it was well over 400 to 500 people. So we was able to accommodate like that as well.
So the truck is still going?
Yes,
okay.
the food truck, it is still up and running. So you can reach out to us for that in that area as well, if you want the food truck to come to like your business, to like your house party or whatever. But I said, just reach out to us and we'll give you all the information that you need. Thank you, producer, for putting that in the link. Let me see. How can I say this? It's a lot of times when people they come to our restaurant, people that know me personally, I'll say that the first thing to come out their mouth, what kind of discount do I get? I'm like,
nada.
Me no speaking English. Me don't know. Me no speaking English. I don't know. I'm like, my thing is, and I say it respectful as I possibly can, because I'm generally respectful all the time. I try to be. We don't go to Walmart and ask for no discount. We don't go to
That's
Walmart.
kind of bold.
We don't go to Walmart and ask for no discount.
I don't mean to even cut you off. Why do
we
people
do that?
Why do
we do that?
Yeah, I was going to say we. Why do we do that?
I say it. Why do we do that?
Yeah, because to me, it's like if you were getting your nails done, if you were getting your hair done, if you were going to barber, if you would pay the full price and then some. You would pay the full price.
You would pay the full price. And if I decide
let's stop doing that.
I want to give you a discount, let me decide that. I have access to all of that. But people they do it, and in the meanwhile, I just say no discount.
Yeah,
so,
and guys, the food is
it.
delicious. Though we've been there numerous times.
People do it. So, and I said also again, did you have anything else you want to say before I said?
I am.
So also again, if you want to be a guest on the podcast show, now hear me and hear me well. If you want to be a guest on the podcast show, reach out to us, inbox us. You can email us.
Free.
And guess what? It's free. It's free. I said it's free. That's all. Again, I can't say it enough. It's free. This is something that we're doing to help you. If you wanna run commercials on our podcast show, you can. You can just reach out to us, and guess what? Again, that's free. We're not gaining nothing from this at all. We're just basically trying to help somebody.
Just giving you the exposure that you need for your
Exactly,
business.
just giving you the exposure that you need. And I think when Clemisha she was on here, she literally says that right now her hands are very full
Which is good. And
because of our podcast show.
Yeah.
Her hands are very full. She's to a point in place where like she has enough, so to speak, work and clients and people that she's able to deal with and able to help more. And she and just by her coming on our podcast show one time, it gave her a lot of exposure because some people didn't know she was there. Now they know.
Yeah, and that's what we're here for. I mean, besides the podcast and our subjects with the business promos, that's what we're here. We're here to help other
Exactly.
people.
Exactly.
Just to, some people are, you look at some people and they're really selfish and it's like,
They're really
nah, I'm going to keep
selfish.
it to me. But no, we want everyone to have. So
Exactly.
I thank God that she was on here and the questions that we asked, we asked questions. It was specific questions on purpose, just so people can come and
Exactly.
volunteer for her
Exactly.
organization or,
Exactly. Exactly. They would come. They would come volunteer. They would
Yeah.
come donate. And from what she's telling me, all of those things are happening right now.
That's good.
All of those
That's
things are
good.
happening right now. So that's a big thumb. That's a big thumbs up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, being on the podcast show. It has its perks. Not just because you're in front of all these cameras and these lights and all right, that's cool. But in the meanwhile, are you really serious about what you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Are you really serious about what you're doing? Are you really, you want to get the word out? It's not so much as I want my face in the place. Has nothing to do with it. Do you really want to get the word out? Do you really want people to know what you have to offer? Do you really want to know? Do you really want people to know your brand? You know what I mean? And why not allow us to help you with that?
Yeah. And I want to give a special shout out to Dallas on Air, our producers and engineers that make it happen. Without you guys, we won't be able, we won't be able to either discuss our topics
Exactly.
or promote
Exactly.
business. So
Exactly.
shout out to Dallas on Air.
I promise you. I promise you. I better not say that. I was finna say something else. I was finna say something else, but no, I'm gonna leave it like Miss Regina said. Shout out to Dallas on Air. There are some really good people, and they definitely make it happen for us, and make us feel
I was
comfortable
gonna
and
call
all
some
those
names,
things.
but I'll
No,
do that another time.
no.
I won't call any names.
But I mean, and also let me give, since we're doing shout outs, let me give a shout out to my mother.
oh, that's right. Woo,
Let
woo.
me give a shout out to my mother. Usually she's on the podcast show. She'll listen in and she types something in the comments. But today is her birthday show. She out there in them streets doing what she doing. She out there in them streets. She out there in them streets doing what she doing. And maybe she is. I don't know. But usually she's a great support system to me, and I definitely appreciate her. But shout out to my mother again. I just want to say publicly, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And I love you so much, and I will see you this evening. And this evening, I'm gonna take her to dinner this evening,
Aw.
and I'm gonna take her to McDonald's and to get whatever you want. Get whatever you want. You can get the big fries this time.
Oh, wow.
You can get the big fries. But I said, but no, again, like I said, shout out to my mom. You got anything else?
No, that's it. We are done.
I think we're done. Let me see if I can think of anything else.
Yeah,
Again, if y'all want to be on the podcast show, if y'all want to run a commercial ad with us, please reach out to us and let us know. Don't hesitate. Again, it's free. It's free. It's no cost to you. The only thing we'll need a couple of things from you, but when we talk to you, we'll discuss that. But in the meanwhile, it's free.
Free, y'all.
You want to have the last words, or you want me?
Oh, no, you can.
Okay, all right. I'll have last words. So listen, let me say this to you. Let me say, my sister, my oldest sister, she said they're listening. She's tickled pink. Okay. Yeah. So let me say this to you. It's a lot of times when we're going through situations and trials and tribulations and changing of the seasons. That's what I call them. Changing of the seasons when you're going from summer to winter. Then I said, but you have to look at that as on the spiritual aspect of it. Your body and your mind is going to go through changing of the seasons as well. So when you're going through the changing of the seasons, you have to know and understand when it's too much for you, it's just right for God. You know, it's a lot of times, you know, your finances will get tried. It's a lot of times your mental state, it'll get tried. A lot of times your physical body will get tried. But you gotta know something, and you gotta know that you got a strong tower. I feel some preaching right there.
I know. I heard it.
He a producer. He laughing. You gotta know that you got a strong tower, and you gotta know that you got somebody that's fighting all of your battles for you. Because also, let me encourage you on this one. You gotta know and understand this. All of your battles can be won in prayer. Does that mean that you have to be holier than thou? No, you don't. Just have a relationship with God. However you get to God. However, you get to God, that doesn't mean that's how I get to God. But build your relationship with God, because when it's too much for you, it's just right for God.
Amen.
All right.
All right.
That's it. I believe we're done.
We done good early.
I believe we're done.
We're 3 minutes early.
That's how they do at the pageant.
Oh, wow.
Oh, pretty today.